Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I teach web development from scratch. So whether you are a beginner or looking to sharpen your skills, here you are in the right place. In today's video, we are going to learn all about HTML. This is the foundation of every website on the internet. Our goal today is that by the end of this course, you'll be confident in writing HTML and building a real responsive website. Now, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is not a programming language. It is only a markup language used to structure content on the web. The word hypertext refers to links that connect pages, and markup is how we label and organize the content. Now, why should you learn HTML? What is the reason for learning HTML? The reason you should learn HTML is because regardless of the languages you use, maybe using Python, PHP, or Node.js and JavaScript, browsers can only render HTML. So for every web developer, you have to know and master HTML. Now, HTML is made up of elements like the head, the title, the body, the P or paragraph, and many more other elements. These elements are defined using tags, and a tag is a text that is inside angle brackets. For example, the text P here is put inside the angle brackets, and at the end we wrap it with a P inside angle brackets plus a forward slash. So a text in the angle brackets with no forward slash marks the beginning of the HTML element, and a text in the angle brackets with the forward slash in front of the text, the forward slash before the text, it signifies the end of the HTML element. Writing HTML tags, it is recommended for consistency and compatibility. You should write them in lowercase or small letters, not capital. Let us set up our development environment. To set up your development environment, you need a text editor. And there are so many text editors to use. However, I personally prefer using Visual Studio Code. So that is what we are going to use throughout this course. Get over to Google and search for Visual Studio Code. Press enter, click on the first link and click on download. Go ahead, download this software and install it on your PC or computer. Now, after you have installed it, go ahead and open it, and this is the welcome screen of Visual Studio Code. Now, let us create our first HTML page. Go to the desktop or anywhere on your PC and create a folder. I have already created one, naming it HTML, but you can name it anything of your preference. And inside this folder, we are going to create a new file and call it index.html. So this is our folder. We are going to create a new text document and name it index.html. You can create it using this style. However, if you have Visual Studio Code open, on the left side you'll see 4 icons. This one, and when you hover over it, the first icon, you will see new file. So click on it, single click, and we are going to create a file called index.html. All right. The reason we have put .html is to tell the browser that this is an HTML file. For every HTML document that you create, you must declare it. You must tell the browser that this is an HTML document. How do we do that? You put an angle bracket. Remember, we talked about angle brackets. An exclamation mark, and type doctype HTML. All right, there you are declaring and telling the browser that this is an HTML document. Right after that, you mark the start and end of this document, and to do that, angle brackets once again, type HTML, close the angle brackets. Now when you are using Visual Studio Code, it has autocomplete features which may automatically complete the code for you. Now normally in the HTML we have to declare the language, and for that matter we type lang is equal to en, which stands for English. For my case, you can put the shortcode for your language wherever you are. Inside the HTML tags, we have 2 required sections for every HTML document, and that is the head and the body. In the body section, this is where we put all the content we want to be seen by the person visiting our website on this page. Now, when you are using Visual Studio Code, you may not need to type these things manually. You can just press Shift 1 for the exclamation mark and press Tab. So you get the HTML boilerplate code. Now if we are to view this in the browser, we are going to open the folder and double click on this HTML file. When you notice in the tab here, that is where we have the title, which is document. So let us change it to maybe charismatic, and when we refresh, we see the title in the tab. Now let's look at the most common HTML elements. The most common HTML elements, we have the headings, the P's, and the anchor tags. So the heading tags, we have H1s, which signify this is the heading. And for the headings, HTML provides for 6 variations from H1 all the way to H6. And the sizes vary as well. So when we open our browser and refresh, we see the different sizes of all our headings. The other HTML tag that you will commonly find is the P tag, and the P stands for paragraph. And when we refresh, we see this is the paragraph. Another common tag that we shall be using is the anchor tag. This is the anchor tag. This anchor tag is what is used for navigation purposes. If you want to move from page X to page Z, then you put this anchor tag to point to that page. It can also point to an external website. For example, you are linking to another person's website, so you put the link in between this href attribute. It is called an attribute. So this is where you say, maybe I want to go to uganda.com. So here you will say https://uganda.com. Alright, so when a person comes to your website and clicks here, he or she will be redirected to uganda.com. Another common HTML tag that we use is the div. And this div is used to group elements together. For example, you want to put an H2, a P tag, and an anchor tag together. So you can wrap them around, you can put them inside a div element. While the div is a general container to group elements together, in HTML5 we have semantic elements like the header, the footer, article, section, etc, etc. These tags give your page meaning and help with SEO and accessibility. Let us now begin creating the structure of a real website. And one of the first parts of any website is the navigation menu. And here is a simple one. We shall wrap it around an HTML5 semantic tag called the nav. So whenever the browser sees this, it will automatically know that this is the navigation menu. And in here, most cases, people will put a logo which takes persons back to the home page. And for that, we use an anchor tag. Remember, we said an anchor tag is the tag that we use to move from point A to point B on a website. So here we are saying logo. And in here, we shall use another HTML element called the unordered list. We have two types of lists. We have the OL, which stands for ordered lists, and UL, which stands for unordered lists. So here we are using the UL, and inside the UL we shall use the LI tag, which is the short form of list. So we shall say LI, and in the LI, remember, we need, this is a navigation, so we need to move from point A to point B on our website. So we shall use the anchor tag and say this one is pointing to the home page. Alright, then we shall create another LI tag, another anchor tag, and say this one is pointing to the About Us page. Now here we can highlight that entire LI, press Shift, Alt, and down arrow, and we say that is to copy the whole line to a new line, and we can call this maybe contact. And also in most websites you will find a button which is normally called the call to action button. So we shall put a button and say hire me. All right, now when we view this, refresh, this is how it looks like: the logo, the navigation menu, and the button. Every navigation menu that you will see out there will have the three components. Wonderful, wonderful. We have just created our first HTML page and learned about the basic building blocks of the website. In the next video, we will explore more HTML elements. We shall add images, we shall create tables, we shall create forms, and we shall start styling our page using CSS. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss the rest of the series. Drop a comment below if you have any questions. I will be very happy to help.